Hey everyone, welcome back. Drop a like, hit subscribe, and tell me where and when you're watching from today. The year is 1991, and you wake up not in your own bed, but in a small, damp cot within the rough-hewn barracks of Hyrule Castle. A chilling draft snakes around your ankles, making you shiver, but it's not the cold that truly jolts you awake. It's the drumming. A relentless, furious drumming against the window panes, instantly louder than any rainfall you've ever heard. Then, the crash. Not distant thunder, but a sound like a giant, angry hammer striking stone, somewhere far above. The entire stone wall of your cramped room seems to vibrate. You're on your feet before you even consciously decide to move. The air is suddenly thick with the metallic tang of fear and something else. Ozone? Rain is lashing horizontally now, a solid sheet of water that smears the weak, sickly glow fighting its way through the narrow slit of your window. You feel the fine mist of it even here, seeping through the old stone. Outside, beyond the deceptively thick stone walls, a cacophony explodes. Guttural roars that scrape at your nerves, the metallic clang of steel on steel echoing like 1,000 bells of doom, and the sickening, splintering crack of heavy wood giving way under relentless force. This isn't a storm trying to get in. It's a siege, an unholy assault. Your heart pounds a frantic, deafening rhythm against your ribs, a drum matching the chaos outside. Your fingers instinctively brush against the rough, familiar leather of your bracer lying on the nearby crate, then quickly find the cold hilt of your sword. A heavy wool cloak is snatched up and tossed over your shoulder in one swift, practiced motion, its weight a sudden comfort. You secure the buckle with fumbling fingers. You catch a glimpse of your reflection in a polished shield leaning against the wall. Wide, panicked eyes staring back. The urgency is a cold hand gripping your gut, twisting with chilling intensity. You push open the heavy wooden door to the corridor. The air here is already thick with the shouts of men, the desperate scuffle of heavy boots on flagstones. Guards, their faces grim and etched with determination, rush past you in a surge, their armor clanking and rattling like 1,000 dry bones suddenly coming to life. Their urgency is a palpable force, pushing you further into the shadows. A young recruit, no older than yourself, trips and scrambles to regain his footing, his eyes wide with stark terror as he clutches a spear too big for his shaking hands. You see the sheer panic in his movements, the desperate need to simply keep up with the torrent. You press yourself against the cold, damp stone wall, letting the tide of armed men flow past. You can smell the sweat, the damp wool of their tunics, the acrid scent of fear radiating from every single one of them. The very foundations of the ancient castle feel alive, groaning and shuddering under the relentless assault, each distant impact reverberating right up through the soles of your bare feet, a physical reminder of the brutal force being brought to bear against these stone walls. The ground beneath you trembles almost imperceptibly. The sheer scale of the attack sinks in with a sickening lurch. This isn't just a skirmish. This is an invasion, a relentless wave threatening to consume everything. You realize with a sudden, stark clarity that some moments in life don't ask for permission. They simply arrive, demanding everything you have, every ounce of your resolve. And you have no choice but to answer. The cold, damp stone of the corridor still clings to your back, but now you push away from it, moving. The metallic tang in the air has sharpened, no longer just fear, but something raw and smoky, hinting at distant fires. Each breath you take is shallow, quick, the air itself heavy with unseen threats. The frantic clamor of the siege from outside is less distinct here, absorbed by the castle's ancient walls, replaced by a more insidious sound. The uneven shuffle of boots, a choked cry, the sickening wet thud of something heavy hitting the floor, all echoing from deeper within the shadowed passages ahead. You clutch the worn hilt of your sword, its weight a familiar anchor in a world that's rapidly unraveling. Your eyes, now adjusted to the dimness, scan every alcove, every archway, searching for any flicker of movement in the oppressive gloom. You move with an instinctive urgency, your feet barely making a sound on the flagstones, a quiet counterpoint to the distant screams that pierce the stone. You know these passages like the back of your hand, every hidden turn, every secret recess, yet they feel alien now, twisted by the pervading darkness and the invisible weight of peril. A brief, flickering torchlight casts grotesque shadows that dance and lunge ahead of you, making you flinch at imagined enemies around every bend. You glimpse another guard, slumped against a wall, his face pale, his armor dented, his spear lying uselessly beside him. You don't stop. You can't. There's a singular, burning purpose that drives you forward, a desperate call echoing in your mind. The princess. You have to reach her, to protect her, to find a way out of this nightmare. The thought is a burning ember in the pit of your stomach, fueling every hurried step. You round a corner, slowing your pace, pressing your back against the rough stone once more. The sound of muffled footsteps, closer now, draws your attention to a hallway bathed in an eerie, pulsing purple light from a crack in the wall. You recognize the sigil of the royal family on a tapestry nearby, torn and hanging askew, a symbol of violated sanctity. The air grows heavy, thick with the scent of old dust and magic. You know that light, that oppressive energy. It speaks of dark rituals, of power not meant for mortal hands. Your knuckles whiten around your sword hilt. You glimpse figures in the distance, dark shapes moving in the purple glow, unmistakably not Hyrulean guards. They are larger, more menacing, their movements predatory. A cold sweat breaks out on your brow. Your heart hammers, not just with fear, but with a fierce resolve. This isn't a fight you were meant to win here, not alone, not without a clearer path. You need to be smart. You press yourself deeper into the shadows of a recessed archway, your breathing shallow, your eyes darting, assessing. You see a rarely used service passage to your left, partially obscured by discarded crates, a path to the castle's deeper dungeons, and perhaps a back way to the princess's chambers, if you are quick enough. The risk is immense, the unknown greater, but staying here means certain confrontation you can't survive. This is it, your first real choice in this encroaching darkness. In moments like these, you realize how thin the veil is between order and chaos, how quickly everything you know can be torn away, and how, sometimes, the only way forward is through the very darkness you fear. The first thing you feel is the subtle weight of a coarse wool blanket, tucked snugly around your shoulders, chasing away the morning chill. Then, the smell. It's a comforting blend of wood smoke, sweet and earthy, mingling with something savory and familiar. Perhaps fresh-baked bread, or a hearty stew simmering low. Your eyes flutter open to the soft, flickering orange glow of the hearth fire, casting dancing shadows on the packed earth floor of your small, rustic home. A distant, gentle lowing sound drifts through the thin walls, a cow somewhere in the barn, a steady heartbeat of the morning. You push yourself up, the straw mattress rustling softly beneath you. Your muscles stretch, stiff, from a night spent in simple repose, but a pleasant kind of ache, the one that comes from honest work. You reach for the rough spun tunic and trousers folded neatly at the foot of your cot, pulling them on. The fabric is thick, a bit scratchy against your skin, but it holds the residual warmth of the room. You move towards the hearth, the warmth spreading through your body, chasing the last vestiges of sleep from your mind. A heavy iron kettle hangs over the low flames, steam lazily curling from its spout, adding its own damp, earthy aroma to the air. Stepping out, the world outside your door is still waking up. The air is crisp, carrying the fresh scent of dew-kissed grass and rich soil. The sun is just beginning to peek over the distant rolling hills, painting the sky in soft hues of pink and gold. You breathe deeply, feeling the cool air invigorate your lungs. The familiar sounds of the farm begin to stir, the clucking of chickens, the soft grunts of pigs rooting in their pen, the gentle whir of the wind through the eaves of the barn. You nod to your sibling, who's already out, skillfully milking one of the cows, their movements practiced and serene. They offer a brief, tired smile, a silent acknowledgement of the daily rhythm you both share. You head towards the well, the wooden bucket swinging lightly in your hand. The well rope is smooth and worn from countless mornings, cool against your palms as you lower the bucket into the dark depths. You hear the splash, then feel the sudden weight as you pull it back up, your muscles engaging in the familiar strain. The water is clear, cold, and refreshing as you pour it into the trough for the animals, their eager snorts and slurps of simple music. A mischievous young cuckoo, bolder than the rest, pecks inquisitively at your boots before scampering off with a triumphant squawk. The sun climbs higher, warming your face, your hands, a comforting presence on your skin. You pause for a moment, letting the gentle rays soak into you, a silent gratitude for the day. Back inside, the stew on the hearth is ready. Its aroma now fills the small space completely, a promise of simple sustenance. You take a steaming bowl, the earthenware warm in your hands, the rich, savory broth, a welcome sensation as it warms your belly. You eat slowly, savoring each mouthful, the taste of fresh vegetables and herbs a familiar comfort. The rustic warmth, the gentle sounds, the quiet routine. It's a rhythm, an anchor. You realize that there's a profound beauty in these quiet, unhurried moments, in the simple act of existing, of tending to the basic needs that sustain you. This kind of grounded peace, you think, is a strength all its own, a silent resistance against whatever storms may gather beyond the fields. The sun climbs higher, painting the small village in a warm, golden glow, and you step out, a basket of fresh eggs balanced carefully in your hand. The familiar path crunches under your worn boots, a mix of packed dirt and loose pebbles. The air smells of damp earth, wood smoke, and a faint, sweet hint of wildflowers from the fields beyond. You hear the rhythmic thud of a blacksmith's hammer echoing from the edge of the village, a steady, reassuring beat against the backdrop of chirping crickets and distant bird song. It's a sound that has marked your mornings for as long as you can remember, a constant. You pass by the various homesteads, each with its own rhythm of life. A woman is hanging brightly colored laundry on a line, snapping each piece with practiced ease, her movements efficient and strong. A group of children are chasing a playful dog, their shouts and laughter bright bursts of sound that cut through the calm morning air. You see a farmer struggling with a stubborn gait, grunting with effort, then, finally succeeding, a small, tired victory etched on his face. Everyone here is connected by these small, daily struggles and triumphs, a quiet understanding passing between them, unspoken. You offer a nod to an old man sitting on his porch, meticulously whittling a piece of wood, shavings falling like snow around his feet. He returns your gaze with a knowing smile, his eyes crinkling at the corners. The village market square is already bustling with activity. The chatter of voices, the rustle of straw, the gentle clinking of pots and wares fill the air. You walk past stalls laden with vibrant fruits, fresh vegetables still dewy from the morning, and hand-woven textiles. The scents shift from sweet berries to earthy potatoes, then to the sharper aroma of cured meats. You exchange your eggs for a small pouch of coins and a freshly baked loaf of bread, still warm and fragrant, the crust crackling satisfyingly as you take a bite. The taste is simple, wholesome, a direct connection to the rich earth around you. You pause by the village elder's house, where a small group has gathered, listening intently as he recounts an old story, his voice a low melodic rumble. You catch fragments of it, tales of heroes, of ancient evils, of forgotten magic. It's a reminder that even in this quiet, grounded existence, there are deeper currents, a history that flows beneath the surface of everyday life. The people listening are engrossed, their faces reflecting a mixture of awe and knowing familiarity. You feel a sense of belonging, a quiet pride in this community, in its unwavering simplicity and its deeply rooted stories. As the sun continues its ascent, you start your journey back home, the weight of the fresh bread, a comforting presence in your basket. You realize that true strength isn't always found in grand battles or epic quests. Sometimes it's in the steady rhythm of a day, the shared smiles, the honest sweat, and the quiet resilience of people simply living their lives. This daily hum, this enduring flow, is its own kind of magic, a silent promise that life continues, no matter what. A sudden chill, damp and earthy, makes the fine hairs on your arms stand on end as you step beneath the heavy canopy. The air immediately shifts, growing cooler, thicker, carrying the distinct, deep scent of ancient moss and decaying leaves, a smell that speaks of undisturbed time. The vibrant sunlight that kissed your skin just moments ago is now fractured into scattered, emerald shards, dappling the forest floor in shifting patterns of light and shadow. You hear it then, the disorienting chorus of rustling leaves, a constant, whispering murmur that seems to come from all directions at once, making it impossible to pinpoint any single sound. It's a vast, living hum. Your boots sink slightly into the soft, yielding earth, cushioned by layers of fallen foliage. The path, once clear, seems to dissolve before you, swallowed by tangled roots and creeping vines. You reach out, your fingers brushing against rough, bark-covered trunks that feel impossibly old, their surfaces cool and textured. Each tree seems to lean in, their gnarled branches weaving a labyrinthine ceiling above, obscuring the sky. The forest feels alive, watching, and you're acutely aware of being an intruder in its ancient quiet. The familiar landmarks, the distant village sounds, all melt away, replaced by the deep, resonant silence broken only by the whispers of the wind through the leaves. You press deeper, your senses alert, trying to decipher the subtle cues of the forest. Is that a deer track, or just a trick of the light? Does the air smell faintly of damp stone, hinting at a hidden ruin, or is it just your imagination playing tricks? The elusive scent of forgotten paths seems to linger just at the edge of your perception, a phantom guide. You duck under a low-hanging branch, its leaves brushing your face, soft and cool. The shadows lengthen, stretch, making the trees seem to shift and sway around you, blurring the edges of your vision. You feel a prickle of unease, a subtle disorientation, as if the forest itself is subtly altering its shape, trying to lead you astray. A sudden, sharp crack of a twig nearby makes you freeze, your heart giving a quick, unexpected thump against your ribs. Your head snaps around, eyes straining into the gloom, but there's nothing. Just the endless, rustling symphony of the trees. Was it an animal, or something else? You take a slow, deep breath, trying to steady your pulse, to quiet the growing clamor in your mind. The air here, though cool, feels heavy, charged with something unseen, something ancient and powerful. You can almost taste the dampness on your tongue, the rich, earthy essence of the wilderness. You push on, your steps now more deliberate, more wary. Each rustle, each creak of wood becomes a potential warning. You realize that in places like this, the forest doesn't just surround you, it absorbs you. It strips away the familiar, leaving you with nothing but your instincts, your senses, and the chilling understanding that you are utterly at its mercy. This place holds a power, a mystery, that makes the grandest castle feel small. And you are just a visitor, hoping to find your way through. The air around you doesn't just feel cool anymore. It carries a distinct chill, an unseen current that prickles at the back of your neck. It's too specific for just the forest, too sharp, like the subtle presence of something that shouldn't be there. The rhythmic rustling of leaves, once a disorienting chorus, now seems almost deliberate. Each gust of wind, each whisper through the branches, feels like a calculated move, an attempt to guide or mislead you. Your boots still sink into the soft earth, but now you find yourself treading more cautiously, testing each step as if the very ground could betray you. You realize the trees around you are shifting, not physically moving, no, but their patterns, their density, seem to rearrange themselves subtly. A moment ago, that towering oak was on your left. Now it feels like it's shifted further ahead, almost blocking your path. A familiar patch of glowing mushrooms, a landmark you thought you recognized, vanishes when you blink. Replaced by a tangle of thorny bushes, you stop, turning slowly in a full circle, trying to anchor yourself to something, anything, solid. But the forest offers no fixed point. The world around you feels fluid, like smoke swirling in a draft. A cold bead of sweat trickles down your temple, not from exertion, but from a deeper, primal unease. A strange, faint shimmering catches your eye, just at the periphery of your vision. It's like heat rising from the ground on a summer's day. But here, in this damp, cool environment, it makes no sense. You try to focus on it, to pin it down, but it flickers and fades as soon as you look directly. This subtle shift between reality and illusion sends a jolt of suspicion through you. You feel a sudden, intense certainty that you are not alone, that something is actively manipulating your perception, testing your resolve. The hairs on your arms stand fully erect, not from cold, but from an almost electric sense of being watched, of being played with. You reach out, your hand passing through what looks like a solid branch, only to find nothing there but cool air. Your fingers close around empty space. The shock of it makes you pull your hand back sharply, your breath catching in your throat. This isn't just disorientation. This is active deception. The forest isn't just a place of mystery. It's a living, breathing puzzle, designed to keep you lost, to deter you from some unseen goal. You glance at your sword, its hilt cool and hard in your grip, but you know this isn't a battle of steel and strength. This is a battle of wits, of perception, of finding the true path hidden within layers of falsehood. In this place where nothing is quite as it seems, you learn that perception is not reality, but merely a tool, and sometimes the most dangerous enemy is the one that exists only in the spaces between what you see and what is truly there. The forest demands more than just strength. It demands clarity, even when everything around you conspires to blur the truth. The first thing that hits you isn't a chill, but a blast of dry, dusty air, thick and ancient, catching in your throat with each breath. It carries a faint, acrid scent, like old metal and forgotten incense, mingling with the unmistakable smell of crumbling stone. You feel the grit of it settle on your tongue, a gritty residue that speaks of centuries undisturbed. The light here is weak, filtered through unseen cracks high above, casting long, distorted shadows that twist and writhe like forgotten spirits across the vast, echoing chamber you've entered. Your boots scrape loudly on the uneven flagstones, sending a cloud of fine dust swirling around your ankles. You immediately notice the sheer scale of the space, its walls stretching upwards into an almost impenetrable gloom, adorned with faded carvings of celestial bodies and cryptic symbols. This isn't just a ruin. It's a place designed for grandeur, for power, but now it wears the heavy mantle of decay. Broken pillars lie scattered like giant bones, their once pristine surfaces cracked and worn, revealing the coarse rock beneath. A sense of profound emptiness hangs in the air, a silent testament to rituals long since abandoned. And then you hear it, a low, rhythmic grind, a mechanical sigh that echoes from somewhere deep within the structure. It's a sound of heavy gears turning, protesting, groaning with the weight of time and neglect. It's slow, deliberate, each rotation a struggle, like a giant, rusty heart still beating, barely. The sound is both unsettling and strangely compelling, drawing you deeper into the darkness. You run your hand along a nearby wall, feeling the cool, rough texture of the ancient stone, noting the delicate traces of forgotten pigments that once adorned it, now almost completely eroded. You push further, guided by the persistent grind. The air grows warmer here, subtly, as if the very stone is radiating a faint, residual energy. You pass through a doorway, its archway adorned with grotesque, staring faces carved into the stone, their expressions frozen in silent agony. Beyond, the space opens into a narrow passage, lined with niches where statues once stood. Now only empty pedestals and scattered fragments remain. The dust is thicker here, undisturbed, coating everything in a soft gray shroud. You can almost feel the weight of countless forgotten footsteps. Hear the whispers of ancient voices echoing in the oppressive silence. The rhythmic grinding intensifies, closer now, a testament to the persistent, decaying mechanisms that still cling to life within these hallowed, forgotten halls. You realize that even in ruin, even in silence, power can linger, a dormant force waiting for the right touch, or perhaps the wrong one. This place isn't dead. It's just sleeping, a dream of forgotten glory and silent, mechanical persistence, inviting you to disturb its long slumber. And, with a chilling certainty that whatever wakes up here might not be friendly. The oppressive heat hits you like a physical wall, not the gentle warmth of the outside world, but a dry, suffocating blast that instantly coats your skin in a fine layer of sweat. It seems to radiate directly from the stone itself, a latent energy simmering beneath the surface of the ancient walls. Each breath you take is a shallow gasp, the air thick with a pervasive, metallic grit that settles on your tongue, turning your mouth to dust. You try to swallow, but your throat feels parched, as if the very air is draining the moisture from your body. The rhythmic, groaning grind from deeper within the structure is louder here, each metallic sigh reverberating through the floor, a low thrumming that vibrates up your legs and into your chest. It feels less like a mechanism failing, and more like one struggling to perform its endless, agonizing task. You press your hand against a massive dark pillar, its surface surprisingly warm, almost hot to the touch, as if a furnace lies hidden just beneath its carved exterior. The sheer scale of the chamber around you, illuminated by faint, pulsing glows from unseen sources, seems to press in, making the air feel even heavier. Dust motes dance in these weak light sources, tiny particles suspended in the oppressive atmosphere, creating an ethereal, hazy curtain. You peer through it, trying to make sense of the crumbling grandeur that surrounds you. Faded tapestries, once vibrant with scenes of ancient rituals, hang in shredded tatters, their threads decaying into nothingness. Elaborate altars, now cracked and stained, hint at sacrifices and ceremonies long forgotten, their purpose lost to the relentless march of time. You feel the immense weight of this history, a silent, unseen burden pressing down on you, the realization that you are treading through the remnants of something truly vast, truly powerful. Your eyes scan the towering walls, deciphering what you can of the intricate carvings, figures in flowing robes performing arcane rites, strange beasts with glowing eyes, symbols that thrum with a dark, resonant energy even in their faded state. You see the sheer artistry, the immense effort that went into crafting this place, and it's a humbling, chilling sight. This wasn't built by simple masons. This was constructed by hands that understood power, that commanded unseen forces. You instinctively tighten your grip on your sword, its familiar coldness, a small comfort against the radiating heat and the overwhelming presence of the past. The fine grit grates between your teeth, a constant, unpleasant reminder of the slow, inevitable decay that consumes everything. You realize that this place isn't just old, it's a testament to the enduring echoes of power, a monument to a time when magic and ritual defined existence. And as you stand amidst its crumbling glory, you can't help but wonder what dormant forces still lurk within its stones, still powered by that agonizing rhythmic grind. The past here doesn't just inform the present, it actively shapes it, an invisible, crushing force that demands your full attention, your respect, and perhaps your fear. The moment you step out, it's not just warm, it's a physical assault, the relentless sun. A brutal, white-hot disk in the impossibly blue sky beats down on you, immediate and unforgiving. You feel the heat radiating, not just from above, but from everywhere, from the very air itself. Your skin prickles, then rapidly tingles, a premonition of the burn that will inevitably follow. Your eyelids squint almost shut against the blinding glare, trying to shield your eyes from the sheer intensity of the light. Then, the sand. It's not just warm under your boots, it's scorching, a superheated expanse that seems to radiate heat directly through the thick leather. You feel a distinct, uncomfortable warmth seeping into the soles of your feet with every step, a sensation that quickly escalates to a dull ache, then a sharp, searing pain. Each footprint you leave behind is a small, temporary crater in the soft, fine grains, which shimmer and dance in the heat haze, creating an illusion of movement across the vast, empty landscape. The air shimmers too, distorting everything at a distance, making the world seem to waver and breathe. You lift a hand to shield your eyes, but it offers little relief. The dryness in your throat is immediate, a rough, scratchy sensation that demands moisture. Your lips feel cracked, your mouth pasty. Every breath you take is dry and hot, leaving your lungs feeling parched. The silence here is profound, broken only by the soft crunch of your own boots on the sand, and the faint, almost imperceptible whistle of a hot, dry wind. It's an emptiness that echoes the visual emptiness, a vast, oppressive quiet. Ahead, the horizon is a wavy, shimmering deception, a liquid mirage that seems to endlessly recede the closer you get. You try to focus on a distant landmark, a jagged rock formation, but it seems to swim in and out of existence, blurring at the edges, making it impossible to gauge true distance. It's a trick of the light, you tell yourself, a product of the extreme heat, but it plays on your mind, sowing seeds of doubt, a subtle whisper that perhaps nothing here is truly real. You feel the weight of your water skin, its coolness, a precious comfort against your side, a constant reminder of the limited time you have in this desolate expanse. You glance back, but the way you came is already fading, your footsteps swallowed by the shifting sands, the familiar landmarks of the world you left behind, blurring into the same featureless expanse. Here, in this land of scorching sand and relentless sun, you learn that perception is easily fooled, and survival isn't just about strength, but about enduring the illusions, the discomfort, and the sheer, overwhelming emptiness that stretches out before you, demanding every ounce of your will to keep moving. Your throat feels like sun-baked clay, a rough, agonizing rasp with every shallow breath. It's not just dry, it's a raw, burning sensation that makes swallowing a painful, impossible act. You feel the constant urge to moisten your lips, but they're already cracked and peeling, offering no relief. The taste in your mouth is pure dust and desperation, a bitter, metallic tang that no amount of imagined water can wash away. Every muscle in your body screams for a reprieve from the relentless heat, but there is no shade, no shelter, only the vast, unending expanse. The sun, a malevolent eye above, still beats down, but now its intensity isn't just physical, it's psychological. It feels like it's boring directly into your skull, baking your thoughts, blurring the edges of your perception. The shimmering horizon isn't just a trick of the light anymore. It's a living, breathing deception. You see shapes in the distance, a cool, flowing river, the outline of a familiar village, even the faint echo of a figure waving, only for them to dissolve into nothingness the moment your eyes try to truly focus. Each mirage is a cruel tease, a whisper of hope snatched away, leaving behind a deeper ache of disappointment. The vast, echoing silence around you is the most profound torment. There's no wind to speak of, no rustle of leaves, no distant hum of life. It presses in, a suffocating blanket that amplifies the frantic thump-thump of your own heart in your ears. Without external sound, your mind starts to fill the void with its own desperate imaginings. You hear faint whispers on the breeze that isn't there, the faint clinking of a chain, or the phantom echo of a distant bell. You strain your ears, trying to confirm if these are real, only to find nothing but the same, crushing quiet, making you question your own senses, your grip on reality. You strain your stumble forward, your legs heavy, each step an immense effort through the burning sand that still seeps into your boots. Your vision tunnels, the world narrowing to just the immediate ground before you, then widening again in a dizzying sway. The sense of isolation is immense, a crushing weight that makes you feel impossibly small, utterly insignificant. You are alone here, profoundly and utterly cut off from everything familiar, everything comforting. The endless, featureless expanse stretches in every direction, a silent, indifferent witness to your struggle. You reach for your water skin, your fingers fumbling at the stopper, the desire for just a single drop, an overwhelming primal instinct. Its emptiness is a cold, stark reality. You feel the profound impact of this environment, how it strips away everything but the raw need to simply survive. And in that terrifying, echoing silence, under the sun's relentless gaze, you realize how fragile the mind is, how easily it can be swayed, how much it depends on the familiar to hold itself together. Here, in the heart of nothing, you are forced to confront the stark, uncomfortable truth of your own limits. The air hits you first, not with a chill or a blast of heat, but with a thick, sickening punch of putrid scent. It's the undeniable smell of stagnant water, heavy and earthy, mingled with the cloying sweetness of decaying vegetation, and something else, something vaguely metallic, like old, wet rust. Your stomach clenches, and you instinctively try to take a shallower breath, but the smell seems to cling to the inside of your nose. A persistent, unpleasant invasion. Then comes the oppressive humidity. It wraps around you like a wet blanket, instantly coating your skin in a fine sheen of sweat that refuses to evaporate. Your clothes stick uncomfortably to your body, and your hair feels heavy, damp. Every movement feels sluggish, as if you're pushing through invisible resistance. The air itself feels so heavy, so dense, that it seems to stifle sound, making everything around you muffled and indistinct. The sunlight that struggles to penetrate the dense canopy above is diffused, creating an eerie, greenish gloom that swallows details. And in that oppressive quiet, you hear it, a low, constant, maddening, buzzing drone. It's everywhere and nowhere, a symphony of unseen life that hums at the very edge of your hearing. Sometimes it shifts, rising to a higher pitch, then fading, suggesting clouds of insects you can't quite see, or perhaps something larger, lurking just beyond the thick foliage. You slap at your neck, swatting at an imagined bite, the feeling of invisible eyes on you a constant, unsettling presence. The ground beneath your worn boots is soft, squelching slightly with each step, a mix of mud, water, and rotting plant matter. You feel the dampness seep through the leather, cold and unpleasant. You push through a curtain of thick hanging vines, their clammy leaves brushing against your face, leaving behind a sticky residue. The vegetation here is wildly overgrown, a chaotic tangle of broad-leafed plants, strange iridescent flowers, and trees with roots that twist like serpents above the waterlogged earth. Every surface seems to be coated in a layer of green algae or black, slick moss. The pathway, if there ever was one, is almost completely swallowed. You try to step carefully, but your foot slips, and you catch yourself on a sharp, reedy plant, a small prickle of pain, a vivid contrast to the general numbness of the humidity. The putrid scent seems to intensify with every step you take, deeper into this suffocating embrace. You notice patches of dark, still water, reflecting the murky green light like sinister mirrors, their surfaces teeming with unseen things. You can almost feel the density of the life within them, a vibrant, unseen ecosystem thriving in the decay. This isn't just a swamp, it's a living, breathing entity, a world utterly divorced from the clean air and solid ground of home. And as you try to navigate its oppressive embrace, you realize that true resilience isn't just about fighting. Sometimes it's simply about enduring, about finding the will to push through an environment that actively seeks to reclaim you, to break you down, one damp, putrid breath at a time. Your foot lands on something unexpectedly soft, then immediately slick. You feel a sickening slide as your worn boot loses purchase on a patch of dark green moss, thick and spongy, clinging to a submerged root. Your arms flail, trying to regain balance, your heart lurching into your throat. For a horrifying moment, you think you're going down, straight into the murky depths. You catch yourself, your hand slamming onto a nearby tree trunk, the bark wet and slimy with a fine layer of algae. The chilling dampness of it seeps through your glove instantly. Each step now is a desperate gamble. The ground beneath you isn't solid earth anymore. It's a deceptive carpet of decaying leaves, hidden roots, and treacherous, slick moss. Your boots squelch with every movement, sinking into the soft, waterlogged soil, sometimes finding purchase on a solid, water-slicked rock, other times just sliding into a shallow pool of stagnant water. The constant cold moisture soaks through the leather, chilling your feet, then creeping further up your legs. You can almost feel the dampness settling into your very bones, a persistent, unwelcome guest. Around you, the landscape is a riot of dark, still water. Murky depths stretch out, reflecting the oppressive, greenish light of the dense canopy above like a shattered mirror. You can't see what lies beneath those inscrutable surfaces, and that's the most chilling part. Is it just mud? Or are there unseen terrors lurking, waiting for an opportune moment? A sudden, barely perceptible ripple disturbs the surface nearby, then vanishes, leaving you staring intently, straining your eyes into the gloom, a prickle of unease crawling up your spine. Was it the wind? Or something moving, just beneath the surface, watching? The putrid scent of decay is even stronger here, mixed with a sharper, fishy tang that speaks of hidden life and slow, natural processes. The buzzing drone of unseen insects from the previous moments is replaced by a more guttural sound, a slow, rhythmic croak from some hidden creature deep within the reeds. It's loud enough to make you pause, your hand instinctively going to the hilt of your sword, even though you know it might be useless against a threat you can't even see. The oppressive humidity clings to you, making your skin feel clammy and your movements sluggish. You push through a curtain of thick hanging vines, their clammy leaves brushing against your face, leaving behind a sticky residue. The water around your ankles feels like a cold, living presence, constantly pulling at you, threatening to drag you deeper. You realize that in a place like this, the ground isn't a path. It's a series of treacherous footholds, and progress is measured not in distance, but in the sheer willpower to resist the swamp's relentless pull. Here, the struggle isn't just with visible enemies, it's with the environment itself, a silent, pervasive adversary that tests your footing, your senses, and your very resolve, demanding you adapt or be swallowed whole by its chilling, murky embrace. The instant you crest the ridge, a thin, biting wind lashes out, whipping at your exposed skin, bringing an immediate stinging sensation to your cheeks and ears. It tastes of cold stone and distant ice, a sharp, clean contrast to the heavy humidity you just escaped. You instinctively pull your cloak tighter around you, but the wind seems to find every seam, every gap, burrowing its way through the fabric and chilling you to the bone. Before you, the world drops away. It's a dizzying, breathtaking expanse, stretching out into an impossibly distant horizon. Tiny patchwork fields, miniature forests, and the faint, almost invisible glimmer of distant rivers spread below, making the world seem like a child's toy laid out on a vast green blanket. You feel a sudden, unsettling lightness in your stomach, a faint, dizzy spell that tugs at the edge of vertigo as you realize just how high you are, how precariously perched. The sheer scale of it is both awe-inspiring and terrifying, making your head feel light. Your boots, heavy from the earlier trek, now press down on sharp shale. You hear the grinding crunch of it with every step, a harsh, grating sound that echoes in the thin air, a constant reminder of the unstable ground beneath you. Small, loose stones skitter away underfoot, tumbling down the precipitous slope with a faint, receding rattle, their descent marking the vast emptiness below. You find yourself moving with an exaggerated caution, each foot placed deliberately, testing the ground before committing your weight. The sharp edges of the shale press against your soles, even through your thick boots, a constant, uncomfortable pressure. You lean into the wind, feeling its relentless push, as if it's trying to dislodge you, to test your resolve. Patches of tough, resilient mountain grass cling to crevices, their blades flattened and sculpted by the constant gusts, their color a muted, hardy green. Far below, a lone hawk circles, a tiny speck against the enormous canvas of the sky, its effortless grace, a stark contrast to your own strenuous struggle against the elements. The air here feels impossibly clear, crisp, almost sharp enough to taste. You pause, drawing a deep breath, the cold air burning slightly in your lungs, but feeling strangely invigorating. You gaze out at the dizzying expanse, a profound sense of isolation washing over you. Here, amidst the biting wind and the grinding stone, you feel utterly alone, a tiny figure on a colossal stage. And in that humbling vastness, you realize that true perspective comes not from seeing the details up close, but from understanding your place within something far, far greater. The world humbles you here, stripping away all but the raw, unadorned truth of your existence against its formidable, silent power. Every muscle in your legs aches, a deep, persistent throb that resonates with each step you take further up the steep, unforgiving incline. Your calves burn, your thighs feel like lead, and your lungs heave, gasping for air that seems thinner, less substantial here at this dizzying height. Each breath you manage to draw feels snatched, inadequate, as if the very atmosphere is refusing to fully fill your lungs. A sharp, icy burn in your chest accompanies every inhale, a constant reminder of the physical toll this ascent is taking. The wind, relentless and unforgiving, still whips at your exposed skin, turning your ears and nose a dull, painful red. It howls around you, a mournful, solitary sound that amplifies the immense quiet of the peaks. You feel the constant push against your body, threatening to throw you off balance on the narrow, crumbling path of sharp shale and loose scree. Your hands are raw from gripping the cold, rough rock faces, seeking purchase where none seems readily available. The skin scraped and smarting. Below you, the dizzying expanse remains, a vast, indifferent tapestry of greens and browns, now bathed in the stark, brutal beauty of a land untouched by softness. There are no gentle slopes here, no welcoming groves, only jagged peaks, sheer drops, and unforgiving rock formations sculpted by millennia of wind and ice. The light is harsh, casting long, dramatic shadows that deepen the ravines and highlight the stark contours of the mountains. You see no signs of life, no bustling villages, no meandering rivers, just the raw, elemental power of nature in its purest, most unyielding form. You press on, one foot in front of the other, your gaze fixed on the next, slightly higher point, refusing to look down, refusing to let the vertigo take hold. Your head pounds with the effort, a dull thrumming that echoes the ache in your limbs. The cold seeps into your bones, a constant, pervasive chill that no amount of exertion seems to entirely banish. You can taste the metallic tang of exertion in your mouth, a mix of sweat and dry air. As you finally reach a momentary plateau, you stop, leaning heavily against a weathered outcrop of stone, your chest heaving, your vision momentarily blurring with fatigue. You close your eyes for a moment, letting the searing cold wind wash over you, a harsh but invigorating presence. You realize that sometimes strength isn't about overcoming an external enemy, but about simply putting one foot in front of the other, about enduring the ache, the cold, the thin air, and the sheer, overwhelming indifference of a world that cares nothing for your comfort. Here, in the stark, brutal beauty of these heights, you learn that true resilience is forged not in ease, but in the relentless, demanding silence of a world that asks everything of you, and gives nothing back but the raw, unvarnished truth of your own endurance. The world goes from warm to impossibly frigid in an instant. The sudden shock of the cold water hits you with a full-body jolt, a breathless gasp escaping your lungs before you can fully comprehend what's happening. It's not just cold. It's an icy embrace that steals your breath, clenches your muscles, and makes your skin erupt in goosebumps. You feel the immediate, intense pressure on your eardrums, a dull, insistent throb that builds as you sink deeper, a strange, internal echo. The light above instantly dims, transforming into a shimmering, distorted surface, a ceiling of dancing light. The vibrant colors of the world you just left are muted, softened to ethereal blues and greens. You can feel the water's incredible density all around you, a palpable weight pressing against every inch of your body, a sensation both strange and confining. Your hair floats around your face, an undulating curtain, and your clothes cling to you, heavy and cold. Sounds are utterly transformed. The roaring rush of the waterfall you entered is reduced to a soft, distant murmur, a gentle whisper that seems to come from an impossible distance. The world above the surface, with its wind and rustling leaves, fades into a profound, echoing quiet. Instead, you hear only the muted sounds of a world beneath the surface, the faint, rhythmic thrumming of your own heartbeat, amplified and slowed, the soft gurgle of bubbles escaping your lips, and a subtle, almost imperceptible current shifting around you. It's a primal, internal symphony. You open your eyes, the water stinging slightly, but offering a strange clarity. You see vague shapes in the gloom, dark, indistinct forms of submerged rocks, ancient roots, and shimmering ethereal strands of aquatic plants, waving gently in the unseen currents. The water itself is cool and surprisingly clear, but the depths below still fade into an impenetrable indigo, hinting at untold secrets. You instinctively kick your legs, propelling yourself deeper, the effort feeling strangely fluid, almost effortless in the water's embrace. A small, iridescent fish darts past your field of vision, its scales catching the faint light in a fleeting spark of color, then vanishes into the murky depths. You feel the cool current swirl around your bare arms, a subtle touch against your skin. The dull pressure in your ears is constant, a reminder of the alien environment you now inhabit. You realize that this is a world entirely different, a realm of profound quiet and unexpected beauty, where every sensation is heightened, every breath a conscious act. Here, beneath the surface, you learn that true freedom isn't always found in open spaces, but sometimes in the strange, silent embrace of a world that demands a different kind of breathing, a different way of being, and offers a unique perspective on the profound depths that lie hidden beneath the surface of everything. A sudden, brilliant flash of iridescent scales catches your eye, a momentary spark of sapphire and emerald that cuts through the muted blue-green world. It's a fish, larger than any you've seen on the surface, its body impossibly sleek, streamlined, and its fins ripple with an almost magical fluidity as it darts past. It moves with an effortless grace, a natural mastery of this liquid realm, making your own clumsy efforts feel slow and heavy by comparison. You watch it vanish into the gloom, a phantom of light. Then, the current shifts. It's not just a gentle movement anymore. It's a swift, powerful pull, like an invisible hand pushing against your chest, threatening to spin you around. You brace yourself, instinctively kicking harder, fighting to maintain your direction. The water surges past you, a palpable force that tugs at your clothes, your hair, even the very air in your lungs. You feel the cool rush against your skin, a chilling embrace that reminds you of the immense, untamed power of this submerged world. The dull pressure in your ears is constant, a low thrumming that accompanies the rush of the water. You push through a curtain of swaying bioluminescent algae, their delicate fronds brushing against your bare arms, feeling strangely soft and cool. They pulse with a faint, internal light, casting eerie, shifting patterns on the submerged rock faces around you. The water itself is clearer here, allowing you to glimpse more of the alien landscape. Towering, coral-like structures reaching towards the surface, deep crevices disappearing into impenetrable darkness, and the smooth, sculpted contours of ancient water-worn stone. Every surface seems alive, teeming with tiny, unseen organisms that glitter faintly in the diffused light. Another school of fish, thousands strong, passes above you, their collective movements like a single, silver cloud, flowing and twisting in perfect, silent unison. They navigate the powerful currents with an innate understanding, their bodies bending and flexing with an elegant efficiency you can only marvel at. You try to mimic their effortless motion, adjusting your own kicks, feeling your muscles strain and burn with the effort, but you can't quite achieve their seamless flow. You are a visitor here, clumsy and out of place, witnessing the natural ballet of a world that was never meant for air breathers. The cold is a constant presence, seeping into your bones, but the sheer wonder of this alien grace keeps you pushing forward. You realize how completely different the rules of existence are here, how every movement, every breath, every perception is transformed. And in this realm of fluid power and silent beauty, you understand that strength isn't just about what you can endure on solid ground, but about how you adapt, how you learn to move with, rather than against, the unseen forces that define an entirely different world. This liquid realm demands a different kind of respect, a different way of being, a profound humbling in the face of its graceful, powerful indifference. The air here is thick with a different kind of scent, salty, fresh, and vast, carrying the subtle promise of endless space. You hear it first, a soft rhythmic sound, the gentle lapping of water against a sandy shore, a constant, soothing whisper that seems to erase all other noise. It's a sound that grounds you, a stark contrast to the silence or the clamor you've known. Your bare feet sink slightly into the warm, yielding sand, its fine grains caressing your skin as you step forward. The sun, high and generous, bathes everything in a soft, golden glow. You feel its warmth on your face, a comforting embrace after the cold of the depths, and its light dances on the vast, still surface of the water before you. It stretches out, an endless expanse of shimmering blue, broken only by the occasional ripple or the lazy glide of a seabird. The air feels lighter, cleaner, and each breath you take is deep, satisfying, a stark relief. You stand at the edge, letting the smallest waves tickle your toes, the cool water a pleasant counterpoint to the warmth of the sun-baked sand. You scan the horizon, watching the seemingly perfect line where the vast blue of the sky meets the equally vast blue of the water. It's a deceptive calm, an illusion of stillness. You know instinctively that beneath that serene surface lie currents, depths, and unseen life. The tranquil lapping against the shore gives no hint of the power held within. A solitary boat, a tiny speck, floats in the far distance, barely visible, emphasizing the immense scale of this place and your own smallness within it. The gentle breeze carries the faint, briny smell of the sea, a clean, invigorating aroma that clears your mind. You watch as a flock of gulls circle overhead, their cries echoing across the open water, a wild, untamed sound that resonates with the expanse around you. The water itself seems to breathe, rising and falling in a slow, hypnotic rhythm, a powerful, living entity disguised by its surface tranquility. You scoop a handful of sand, feeling its coolness deep within, then let it sift through your fingers, each grain a tiny fragment of enduring time. You realize that this deceptive calm holds a profound lesson. The greatest powers often present themselves with the most understated grace. The ocean doesn't rage to prove its strength. It simply exists, vast, deep, and eternally moving, a silent testament to enduring force. And standing on its tranquil edge, you understand that even in stillness there is immense, unyielding power, and that sometimes the most profound truths are found in the quiet, expansive beauty that hides its depths beneath a veil of perfect serenity. The gentle lapping of the waves against your feet feels different now, less a soothing caress and more a subtle, persistent pull. You feel an unseen current, stronger than the surface ripples, tugging gently at your ankles, trying to draw you deeper into the vast blue expanse. It's an almost imperceptible force, but unmistakable, hinting at a hidden power beneath the serene surface, a silent undertow that seeks to claim what lingers too close to its edge. The warmth of the sun on your face is still comforting, but now it feels like a mere veneer, a thin shield against the dark, silent mysteries that lie beneath the water's shimmering surface. Your gaze drifts further out, past the clear, sunlit shallows, towards the deeper blues where the light struggles to penetrate. There, the water darkens to an inky, impenetrable indigo, a profound depth that seems to absorb all light and all sound. It feels like a silent, watchful entity, holding countless secrets in its cold, vast embrace. The sheer profundity of it creates a prickle of unease, a realization that this calm beauty hides an enormous, unknowable power. A sudden chill, sharp and unexpected, washes over you, raising goosebumps on your arms despite the warm sun. It's not from a cloud or a passing breeze. It feels internal, like the distinct presence of something cold and unknown just beneath the surface. You instinctively shift your weight, your eyes scanning the deceptively placid water, searching for any sign, any ripple that might betray its source. The air around you, once so light and clear, feels heavy for a moment, charged with an invisible tension. The casual cries of the gulls overhead suddenly seem distant, their joyous calls muted by a new, creeping silence. You take a step back from the water's edge, a primal instinct overriding your desire to linger. The warmth of the sand beneath your feet is a welcome anchor, a solid connection to the familiar world. You find yourself scanning the horizon again, but this time you're not admiring the view. You're searching, your eyes darting, trying to find any anomaly in the vast blue expanse. You sense it. A subtle shift in the atmosphere, a whisper of something immense and ancient, stirring in the deep. The tranquil beauty now seems almost deceptive, a clever mask for the profound, untamed forces that silently reside below. You realize that even the most beautiful and seemingly peaceful places can harbor the greatest, most terrifying unknowns. The ocean, with its breathtaking calm, hides depths that humanity will never fully comprehend, forces that can swallow ships whole and reshape entire coastlines. And in that sudden chill, in the silent mystery of its profundity, you learn that true respect isn't just for what is seen, but for what remains hidden, for the immense power that lies silently, patiently waiting, just beneath the surface of the world. The moment you step through the heavy, ornate doorway, a profound stillness descends, like a soft, invisible blanket wrapping around you. The air is cool, dry, and carries the distinct, comforting scent of old incense, a blend of sandalwood and something earthy, subtly sweet, a fragrance that speaks of countless prayers and quiet contemplation. Your footsteps, usually distinct, are muffled here, absorbed by the hushed reverence of the sacred stone that forms the very structure around you. The overwhelming impression is one of gentle, flickering light. Soft glows emanate from countless flickering candlelight sources, dancing on every surface, painting the ancient walls in shifting hues of amber and gold. Each tiny flame casts its own miniature, wavering shadow, creating a dynamic, living tapestry of light and dark. You see alcoves where statues stand in silent vigil, their faces softened by the warm glow, their expressions serene and timeless. The very air seems to shimmer with a quiet, reverent energy, a sense of deep peace that settles over you, quieting the clamor of the outside world. You walk deeper into the sacred space, your hands brushing against cool, smooth pillars carved with intricate, flowing patterns. The craftsmanship is exquisite, each detail speaking of devotion and dedication. The polished stone floor beneath your boots feels solid, grounding, a stark contrast to the shifting sands or treacherous mud you've known. The silence here isn't empty. It's full, rich, with an almost palpable sense of history and spiritual presence, a quiet hum that resonates deep within your chest. Ahead, a central altar, adorned with fresh flowers and more flickering candles, stands as the focal point, its presence commanding a natural reverence. The soft glow illuminates ancient texts displayed on pedestals, their ornate script hinting at wisdom and stories passed down through generations. You notice an old priest, his face serene and deeply lined, tending to the flames with gentle, practiced movements, his presence adding to the profound sense of tranquility. He glances up, meets your gaze with a calm, welcoming nod, a silent acknowledgement that you are a part of this shared space. You close your eyes for a moment, letting the gentle warmth of the candlelight, the comforting scent of incense, and the hushed quiet wash over you completely. You feel a rare sense of peace, a profound stillness that reaches deep into your core. In this place of sacred stone and ancient reverence, you realize that true strength isn't always found in action or noise, but often in quiet contemplation, in shared belief, and in the enduring power of serenity. Here, amidst the soft glow and comforting sense, you find a moment of profound grounding, a silent reassurance that even in a chaotic world, there are sanctuaries where the spirit can find true rest. The profound quiet here isn't merely an absence of noise, it's a living presence, a palpable stillness that settles deep into your soul, coaxing the tension from your shoulders, easing the frantic rhythm of your heart. You feel the clamor of the outside world, its demands and dangers, recede to a distant, muffled echo, almost entirely forgotten within these sacred walls. It's a momentary relief, a precious sanctuary from the ceaseless storm of worries that usually occupy your mind. The air, still carrying the faint, comforting scent of incense, seems to breathe peace into your very being. You sit on a cool stone bench, the polished surface smooth beneath your hand, and simply exist. The flickering candlelight still dances on the intricate carvings, but now you observe it, without judgment, without purpose, simply appreciating its ephemeral beauty. Each tiny flame seems to hold a universe of contemplation within its fragile glow. The soft light illuminates the gentle, almost imperceptible smiles on the faces of the ancient statues, their silent wisdom a comforting presence. For a fleeting moment, the weight of your journey, your responsibilities, the very burdens of existence, lift. You close your eyes again, allowing the quiet to seep into every fiber of your being. You feel the deep thrum of the sacred stone, an ancient heartbeat beneath your skin, connecting you to something vast and enduring. It's a rare gift, this profound quiet, a chance to simply be, without striving, without fighting, without fearing. The world outside, with its looming shadows and its relentless demands, seems a distant, almost irrelevant dream. Here, there is only peace, a gentle balm for a weary spirit. But even in this profound tranquility, a subtle undercurrent remains. You feel the delicate balance within yourself, the constant interplay of faith and despair. The peace is real, deeply felt, but it's a fragile thing, a temporary respite. You know that beyond these walls, the challenges await, the darkness persists, and the fight is far from over. This sanctuary offers not an escape, but a moment to recharge, to remember what you are fighting for, to reaffirm the flickering flame of hope within. The serenity here is a powerful antidote to the fear, a quiet affirmation of resilience. You open your eyes, a renewed sense of calm, a gentle strength settling within you. You realize that true sanctuaries are not places where problems vanish, but where the spirit is strengthened enough to face them again. This profound quiet offers more than just rest. It offers perspective, a chance to find the delicate balance between giving in to despair and holding on to the enduring flame of faith. And you understand that even a momentary relief, a stolen breath of peace, is an invaluable weapon in the unending human struggle against the storm. The first thing that hits you is the light, or rather, the lack of natural light. The sky above is a sickening, oppressive purple hue, like a bruised twilight that never ends. It casts an unnatural, ghastly glow on everything, washing out familiar colors, making the world appear sickly and strange. The air itself feels heavy, thick with a palpable sense of wrongness, a pervasive, unsettling pressure that seems to push down on your very chest, making each breath feel shallow and insufficient. Then come the sounds, not the familiar chirping of birds or the rustle of leaves, but distorted echoes of familiar things, twisted into something sinister. A distant bell tolls, but its chime is elongated, mournful, almost metallic. The whisper of a breeze sounds like a low, guttural growl, carrying with it a faint, cloying scent you can't quite place, something rotten yet sweet, like wilting flowers and stagnant blood. Every sound is a jarring dissonance, a perversion of what should be, digging at your nerves. You step onto the ground, and it feels different too. The earth is dry, cracked, and strangely brittle, crumbling to fine dust under your boots. The familiar warmth of the sun is absent, replaced by a constant, pervasive chill that seeps into your bones, despite the oppressive feel of the air. Trees, once vibrant green, are now skeletal, their branches twisted into grotesque, claw-like forms, silhouetted against the purple sky like morbid sculptures. They seem to writhe in a silent agony, their stillness more unsettling than any movement. You try to make sense of your surroundings, to find a landmark, a familiar path, but everything is warped, unrecognizable. The rolling hills you remember are now jagged, harsh mounds of barren earth. The distant castle, once a symbol of hope and power, stands like a decaying monolith, its spires piercing the purple sky like broken teeth. It's a landscape stripped bare of life, of joy, of any semblance of the world you knew. The sheer emptiness, the absence of natural sound or color, creates a profound sense of isolation. The visceral sense of wrongness permeates everything, a deep, unsettling feeling in your gut that screams of corruption, of something profoundly broken. It's not just what you see or hear, it's what you feel in the deepest parts of yourself, a shiver that runs deeper than cold, a fear more potent than any physical threat. This is a place where reality has been twisted, where the very fabric of existence feels torn and frayed. And as you stand beneath that sickening purple sky, you realize that some changes are so fundamental, so complete, that they redefine everything, leaving you to wonder if the world you knew was ever truly real, or just a beautiful illusion shattered by this grim, pervasive nightmare. The ground beneath your feet isn't just dry and cracked anymore. It's a rough, corrupted texture, like hardened, burnt flesh. Jagged shards of what might once have been rock protrude from the sickly soil, threatening to pierce your boots with every step. You feel the sharp, uncomfortable unevenness, a constant, unpleasant pressure on your soles. The very earth feels diseased, tainted, an embodiment of the wrongness that saturates this land. Each step feels heavy, laborious, as if the ground itself is resisting your presence. The pervasive chill persists, a cold that seeps into your bones, but now it's coupled with a constant, unsettling pressure, like an invisible weight on your shoulders, pushing you down. It's the palpable presence of despair, a force that doesn't just surround you, but seems to actively drain your hope, making your thoughts heavy and dull. The unnatural purple sky above presses down, vast and unforgiving, a constant reminder of this twisted reality. Around you, the flora is no longer merely skeletal, it's actively hostile. Trees are not just bare, but their branches are adorned with wicked, needle-sharp thorns, long and black, reaching out like grasping claws. These corrupted plants form a thorny embrace, an impenetrable barrier that forces you to constantly veer off path, to navigate their menacing tangles. You hear a dry, crackling sound as a withered vine scrapes against a skeletal branch, a sound like brittle bones rubbing together. You feel the subtle sting as a stray thorn brushes against your arm, a sharp prickle through your tunic, a warning that this world offers no softness, no quarter. The distant, distorted echoes of familiar sounds are replaced by a profound, heavy silence, broken only by the faint, dry rustle of these corrupted plants in an unfelt breeze. It's an empty quiet that feels more threatening than any roar, a vacuum where life and hope once resided. The sickly, sweet rotten scent from earlier is stronger now, almost metallic, a cloying stench that clings to the air, making your stomach churn. You try to take a deep breath, but the air feels stale, poisonous, offering no relief. You try to find a way through the thorny embrace, your mind desperately seeking a path, a clear direction, but every route seems blocked, every turn leading to more of the same menacing vegetation. You glance at your hands, rough and dirt-stained, clutching the familiar hilt of your sword, but even its solid weight feels insufficient against this all-encompassing corruption. You realize that this is a place where hope is a luxury, where resistance is a constant, grinding battle against an enemy that isn't just external but internal. And in the face of that constant unsettling pressure of despair, you understand that true courage isn't about not feeling fear, but about taking another step, even when every fiber of your being screams to simply lie down and give in to the profound, overwhelming wrongness of it all. The moment you step through the tattered canvas flap, a wave of distinct, unsettling smells hits you. It's the acrid scent of desperation, thick and clinging, mixed with the sharp, metallic tang of old blood. A smell that catches in your throat. Underneath it all, there's the pervasive odor of damp earth, stale sweat, and unwashed bodies, creating a cloying atmosphere that feels heavy and oppressive. The air itself feels charged with a grim tension. Your eyes struggle to adjust to the dim, smoky light filtering through more canvas and makeshift openings. The space is a cramped, bewildering chaos of humanity. Figures move with a low hum of activity, a constant shuffle of tired feet and whispered words. But the overall impression is one of hushed, weary silence. Your presence draws immediate attention. Heads turn. You feel the prickle of watchful, suspicious eyes following your every movement, quick glances from beneath hooded cloaks and shadowed brows, assessing you with an almost primal instinct. No one speaks directly to you, but their silence is a louder message than any words. You notice the makeshift nature of everything. Shelters are cobbled together from scavenged wood, torn fabrics, and rough-hewn stones, leaning precariously against each other, creating narrow, winding passages. Fires burn low in crude pits, their smoke stinging your eyes and adding to the heavy air. Around them, huddled figures, their faces grim and weary, cook meager meals over the embers, their movements slow and economical. You see the gauntness in their cheeks, the haunted look in their eyes, a shared burden of unspoken hardship. Your boots scrape on the uneven, packed dirt floor, drawing a few more furtive glances. You see discarded tools, broken weapons, and the occasional glint of rusted metal among the scattered debris. A child, no older than 5, sits quietly in a corner, clutching a worn, threadbare doll, its eyes wide and unblinking as it watches the adults around it with an unnerving stillness. There's a palpable sense of community, yes, but it's a desperate one, forged in hardship, where trust is a precious commodity earned slowly, if at all. You feel the weight of their unspoken suffering, the grinding despair that emanates from every corner of this makeshift refuge. This isn't just a camp. It's a testament to raw survival, a place where people cling to existence with every fiber of their being. And as you stand there, bathed in the dim light and the acrid smell of desperation, surrounded by watchful, suspicious eyes, you realize that true resilience is not just about physical endurance, but about maintaining humanity, about finding a flicker of hope, even in the most cramped and chaotic corners of a world that has taken everything else away. The air here is thin, carrying the constant, chilling touch of scarcity, a cold that has nothing to do with temperature and everything to do with absence. You feel it in the quiet way people move, the guarded glances, the way hands hover over meager provisions. The acrid scent of desperation still hangs heavy, now intertwined with a faint, metallic whisper, not of blood this time, but of hard-won, often dangerous, survival. You move deeper into the labyrinthine makeshift camp, your boots scuffing on the dry, packed earth. Around a flickering fire, two cloaked figures huddle, their voices low, almost conspiratorial. You catch a sharp whisper of illicit deals, fragments of hushed bartering, a dull glint of metal exchanged for a small wrapped bundle. Their eyes, darting nervously, betray the high stakes of their exchange, the desperation for what little they possess. It's a silent economy, built on risk and need, where trust is a fragile, easily broken thing. Yet amidst this bleak struggle, you perceive surprising sparks of camaraderie. A younger man shares a meager portion of roasted root with an older woman, their eyes meeting in a silent exchange of understanding and mutual support. A group gathers around a central, larger fire, their faces briefly illuminated by the dancing flames, and you hear a low, rough song being sung, its melody mournful yet resilient, a shared expression of enduring spirit. Laughter, raw and strained, occasionally breaks through the quiet hum of activity, a defiant refusal to fully surrender to the pervasive gloom. You notice the ingenious ways people have adapted. Makeshift repairs are evident everywhere. Torn fabrics mended with salvaged twine, tools fashioned from repurposed scraps, even tiny, carefully tended plants growing in cracked pots, a quiet testament to their refusal to give up on life. The watchful, suspicious eyes still follow you, but some soften slightly as you pass, recognizing perhaps a shared weariness, a common thread of struggle in this bleak corner of the world. A young boy, catching your eye, offers a shy, hesitant smile, quickly looking away, but the gesture is a sudden, unexpected warmth in the cold air. You realize that even in the bleakest corners of existence, humanity finds a way to persist. Scarcity might demand ruthlessness, and illicit deals might become a necessity, but the spirit also seeks connection, finds solace in shared song, and builds a fragile, yet powerful sense of community. This isn't a grand, heroic struggle. It's a quiet, daily battle for survival, where the chilling touch of scarcity defines every choice, but the surprising sparks of camaraderie are the true, enduring light against the encroaching darkness. It makes you wonder how much the human spirit can truly endure, and what beautiful, resilient forms it takes when stripped bare of everything but the will to live. The air itself is a heavy, pervasive cold, a frigid grasp that instantly bypasses your cloak and burrows deep into your bones, making your teeth want to chatter. It's an unnatural chill, far deeper than any winter's bite, carrying with it the sickening sweet stench of decay, something ancient, something putrid that makes your stomach clench. Every breath you take is shallow, each inhale burning in your throat with the icy, foul air. The silence here is unsettling, profound, a suffocating absence of natural sound. No wind whistles, no leaves rustle, no distant cries of animals. It presses in on you, making your own heartbeat sound like a frantic drum against your ribs. And then, from the oppressive quiet, you hear it. A faint, brittle crunch, like dry leaves or old bones shifting. It's too subtle to pinpoint, too elusive to place, an unseen movement that breaks the silence with a chilling regularity, raising the hairs on the back of your neck. You step forward, your boots finding purchase on ground that feels strangely uneven, a mix of cold, damp earth and something harder, sharper, that crunches underfoot. The light is dim, filtered through a permanent, gray twilight, casting long, indistinct shadows that seem to shift and writhe at the periphery of your vision. The landscape is barren, desolate, stripped of all life, resembling a graveyard that stretches endlessly under an overcast sky. Every twisted skeletal tree seems to moan in silent agony, their branches reaching like gnarled fingers. You run your hand along a nearby stone, its surface slick with an unidentifiable dampness and impossibly cold, drawing heat from your skin with alarming speed. The stench of decay seems to intensify here, a cloying, sweet rot that suggests organic matter, long since passed, mingling with a faint, metallic tang. It's a smell that speaks of suffering, of lingering death, a profound wrongness that permeates the very ground you walk on. You pull your hand back, a shiver running down your spine. You pause, trying to discern the source of the brittle crunch, your eyes straining into the gray gloom, but the source remains hidden, elusive. The pervasive cold keeps you moving, a desperate need for warmth that can't be found. You realize that this place isn't just barren, it's actively hostile, a realm where life has been extinguished, leaving behind only the chilling echoes of despair and decay. And in this unsettling silence, broken only by the brittle crunch of unseen movement, you understand that some places are not merely forgotten, but cursed, and stepping into them means confronting the enduring, pervasive grip of a darkness that seeps into your very soul. The pervasive cold still gnaws at your bones, but now it's accompanied by an even deeper chill, the sound. From the unsettling silence, a low, guttural sound emerges, echoing groans that seem to rise from the very earth itself. It's not human, not animal, but something ancient, mournful, like the collective lament of trapped spirits, perpetually yearning. The sound reverberates in the heavy, foul air, settling into your chest, making your own breath catch in your throat. It's a sound of profound suffering, of endless despair. The brittle crunch of unseen movement continues, a constant, irritating counterpoint to the echoing groans. Your eyes dart wildly into the gray gloom, trying to pierce the oppressive twilight, trying to find the source. But the shadows here are too deep, too numerous, too alive. You feel the distinct sensation of unseen eyes watching from those shadows, a prickling awareness on the back of your neck, a chilling certainty that you are not alone, that you are being observed, perhaps even judged. Every twisted, skeletal tree seems to hide a lurking presence, every crumbling stone a silent, malevolent gaze. You pull your cloak tighter, a futile gesture against the cold and the encroaching dread that now wraps around you like a physical shroud. It's a heavy, suffocating pressure, a despair that seeps into your thoughts, trying to convince you that there is no hope, no escape, no warmth. Your mind struggles against it, fighting to maintain clarity, to remember the sun, the gentle rustle of leaves, the warmth of a hearth. But this place actively seeks to strip you of those memories, to replace them with its own relentless gloom. The stench of decay seems to intensify with each echoing groan, a sickening sweetness that makes your stomach churn. Your boots scuff on the uneven, frozen ground, each step a struggle against the physical and emotional weight pressing down on you. You glimpse faint, ethereal wisps of something just beyond your vision, fleeting shapes that dance at the edges of the shadows, then dissolve when you try to focus. Are they illusions born of exhaustion and fear, or are they the spirits themselves manifesting in this cursed realm? The uncertainty is almost as tormenting as the sight. You stop for a moment, pressing a hand to your chest, trying to calm the frantic pounding of your heart, to clear your mind of the pervasive dread. You realize that this is a battle not just for your life, but for your very soul, a constant struggle against an encroaching despair that threatens to overwhelm everything. Here, in this land of echoing groans and unseen eyes, you understand that some darkness is so profound, so absolute, that it seeks to consume not just your body, but your will, your hope, and your very essence. And the only way to resist is to hold on to that flickering ember of defiance, even when the world around you screams for you to let go. The air itself is a weapon here. It's a searing, biting cold that rips through your thickest layers, immediately numbing all sensation in your exposed skin. Your nose stings. Your fingers rapidly ache, then lose all feeling, and a sharp icy pain shoots through your lungs with every shallow, reluctant breath. It's a cold that seems to bypass the physical and go straight to your core, a pervasive, relentless assault that leaves you gasping. Your boots, despite their heavy soles, immediately find treacherous purchase on the slick, polished ice underfoot. You feel a sudden, sickening slide, your body tensing, arms flailing to catch balance on the glassy surface. Each step is a precarious gamble, a constant struggle against gravity, demanding absolute focus to avoid a painful fall. The ice reflects the faint blue-white light that filters from unseen fissures above, turning the cavern into a dazzling, yet utterly unforgiving crystal palace. The silence here is immense, an echoing quiet that swallows all sound, broken only by the faint, almost musical drip of water from unseen stalactites, and the soft, scraping sound of your own tentative movements on the ice. These are vast caverns, their ceiling lost in an inky blackness high above, their walls stretching away into an impenetrable gloom. The sheer scale is dizzying, making you feel impossibly small, a tiny trespasser in a world of frozen grandeur. You run your hand along a nearby wall, its surface impossibly smooth, slick with a thin layer of ice that feels like frozen glass. The cold immediately draws the warmth from your fingers, turning them stiff and unresponsive. You can see your breath misting in the frigid air, each exhalation a fragile cloud in the desolate quiet. Strange, organic-looking ice formations jut from the ground like frozen teeth, or hang from the ceiling like grotesque chandeliers, their sharp edges glinting malevolently in the dim light. You push on, your muscles screaming with the effort of simply staying upright, your mind battling against the numbing cold that threatens to dull your senses. The treacherous slickness of the ice demands your absolute attention, a single misstep, potentially catastrophic. You realize that this is a world of unforgiving beauty, a testament to nature's raw, brutal power, where survival depends not just on strength, but on an unyielding precision, a constant vigilance against the elements that seek to claim you. And in this echoing silence, amidst the searing cold and treacherous ice, you understand that some environments don't just test your limits, they redefine them, forcing you to find a strength you didn't know you possessed, simply to keep moving forward. Every breath you exhale instantly becomes a cloud of frozen vapor, swirling before your face, momentarily obscuring your vision. It's a constant, ethereal veil, a stark visual representation of the searing cold that surrounds you, a chilling breath that seems to emanate from the very air you breathe. The icy pain in your lungs is persistent, a burning sensation that accompanies each shallow gasp. Your movements are agonizingly slow, each step a deliberate, almost painful effort. Your muscles feel stiff, protesting the cold, and your joints creak with a dull ache. The treacherous slickness of the polished ice underfoot demands every ounce of your concentration, transforming simple walking into a perilous dance. You find yourself leaning into imagined footholds, arms outstretched, perpetually on the verge of slipping, of falling onto the hard, unforgiving surface. The cold seeps into your bones, a constant, debilitating presence that saps your strength and your will. The vast caverns around you are transformed by 1,000 tiny reflections. Every ice-covered surface, every jagged stalagmite and shimmering stalactite, glitters with a deadly, sparkling beauty, catching the dim blue-white light and scattering it into a mesmerizing, yet utterly hostile, display. It's a crystalline world, perfectly formed, pristine, and utterly lethal. The profound isolation here is overwhelming, a silence so deep it feels like a physical pressure, amplifying the frantic beat of your own heart. There is no sound but the occasional, echoing drip of water and the soft, desperate rasp of your own breathing. You try to move your fingers, but they feel like clumsy, frozen clubs, barely responsive. The cold has already begun to numb them, robbing you of sensation. You can feel the intense chill on your face, a constant, stinging reminder of the unforgiving environment. You glimpse your reflection in a smooth sheet of ice, a figure wrapped tightly in cloaks, face gaunt, eyes wide with a mixture of determination and profound weariness. The sheer scale of the cavern, stretching away into an impenetrable, sparkling gloom, reinforces your smallness, your vulnerability. You pause, leaning against a towering pillar of ice, its surface impossibly cold, its smooth texture a momentary anchor in the disorienting, shimmering landscape. Your breath clouds before you, momentarily obscuring the deadly beauty. You realize that this place doesn't care for your will, your purpose, or your pain. It simply exists, beautiful and brutal in its frozen indifference. And in this profound isolation, amidst the sparkling, deadly beauty, you understand that true endurance isn't just about surviving, it's about holding onto a flicker of warmth, a spark of defiance, even when every fiber of your being is being relentlessly ground down by the agonizing slowness of movement and the unending, soul-crushing cold. The air itself is a palpable weight here, thick and heavy, pressing down on your chest, suffocating you with each shallow, desperate breath. It carries a potent, putrid smell, a sickening blend of rotting vegetation and stagnant water, so dense it tastes like decay on your tongue. Your stomach lurches, and you instinctively try to breathe through your mouth. But even that offers little respite from the pervasive stench that seems to cling to every molecule of air. With your first step, your boot sinks deep into the ground. It's not just mud, it's a relentless sucking force, pulling at your foot, trying to claim you whole. You feel the cold, slimy embrace of the deep mud ooze up around your ankle, then creep higher, a chilling, unwelcome sensation that makes your skin crawl. Extracting your foot is a struggle, a powerful, draining resistance that demands all your strength, leaving you off balance and panting. The squelch and pop of the mud as you pull free is a sickening sound in the humid silence. The humidity is oppressive, wrapping around you like a wet, warm shroud. Sweat beads instantly on your skin, then seems to simply cling there, unable to evaporate, making your clothes stick uncomfortably to your body. Every movement feels sluggish, as if you're pushing through an unseen, viscous medium. The light here is dim, a murky green filter through the dense, dripping canopy of gnarled trees and hanging vines, creating an eerie, claustrophobic gloom. You try to find a firmer footing, but every surface seems compromised. The twisted roots of ancient trees are slick with moss and algae, offering no solid purchase. The ground is a treacherous, uneven carpet of submerged logs and unseen depressions, each step a potential plunge into deeper, more demanding mud. You hear a constant, faint buzz of unseen insects, a high-pitched drone that seems to vibrate at the very edge of your hearing, adding to the pervasive sense of unease. You pause for a moment, leaning against a rotting tree trunk, its bark soft and spongy with decay, the putrid smell emanating stronger from it. Your legs ache from the relentless struggle against the mud's pull, and your lungs burn with the effort of breathing the heavy, foul air. You realize that this place isn't just a physical challenge. It's a test of sheer will, a world that seeks to exhaust you, to consume you, to grind down every last bit of your endurance with its suffocating embrace and relentless, sucking grip. And in this realm of deep mud and rotting life, you understand that survival isn't about speed or strength, but about an unyielding, agonizing persistence, one slow, squelching step at a time, simply to keep moving forward. The overwhelming sense of being trapped crashes over you, a sudden, suffocating realization. It's not just the mud's physical grip, but the visual impossibility of escape. Every direction offers only more of the same gnarled trees, the same choking vines, the same endless, stagnant pools and sucking mire. The murky green light, barely penetrating the dense canopy, reinforces the feeling of being closed in, cut off, lost in a world that doesn't want to let you go. The thick, heavy air seems to actively resist your every breath, making your chest feel tight with claustrophobia. Each step is a slow, exhausting struggle against the mire's relentless grip. You plant your foot, feel the mud seize it, then pull, slowly, agonizingly, until your muscles scream with the effort. The squelch and pop is a constant, mocking soundtrack to your futile progress. Your boots are heavy, caked in thick, black mud, making every lift an immense exertion. Your legs ache with a deep, pervasive burn, and your lungs gasp for air, but the humid, foul atmosphere offers no true relief. Your sweat streams, mixing with the mud, coating you in a layer of grime that feels impossible to shed. The putrid smell of rotting vegetation and stagnant water intensifies, a cloying, sickening stench that seems to cling to the inside of your nose no matter how many shallow breaths you take. You see grotesque, bulbous plants, some glowing faintly with an unhealthy phosphorescence, growing in the darkest, most stagnant pools, adding to the pervasive sense of corruption. There are no clear paths, no hopeful landmarks, only an unending, crushing weight of a hopeless landscape that stretches to an indistinguishable horizon. The buzzing drone of unseen insects is now a constant, irritating hum, a symphony of tiny, persistent life thriving in the decay. You reach out, grasping at a low-hanging vine for support, but it's slimy and brittle, threatening to snap in your hand, offering no real solace. Your fingers sink into its slick surface, feeling the damp, organic rot. The thought of collapsing, of simply letting the mire consume you, flickers through your exhausted mind, a dangerous, tempting whisper of surrender. This place isn't just difficult. It feels designed to break your spirit, to grind down your will, to make you believe that escape is truly impossible. You force yourself to take another step, then another, the slow, exhausting struggle, a testament to a stubborn, primal refusal to yield. You realize that sometimes survival isn't about grand gestures or heroic acts, but about the sheer, agonizing persistence of one breath, one step, one moment after another. In this hopeless landscape, amidst the mire's crushing grip, you understand that the human spirit's deepest strength isn't always found in victory, but in the simple, defiant act of refusing to be trapped, of continuing to fight, even when every fiber of your being screams that there is no hope. The air here isn't just hot. It's a searing, furnace-like blast that hits you with the force of a physical blow. It burns your lungs with every desperate breath, leaving your throat feeling raw and parched almost instantly. Underneath the oppressive heat, a sharp, metallic tang of sulfur pervades everything, a choking, acrid smell that makes your eyes water and your stomach churn. It's the undeniable scent of raw volcanic power. The ground beneath your boots is rough, jagged, and radiates an intense, dry heat that seeps through the leather, making your feet ache with warmth. But more unsettling is the constant, subtle tremor of the earth beneath you. It's a low, resonant thrumming, a deep vibration that you feel in the soles of your feet, then up your legs, and into your very bones. It's a relentless, living pulse that speaks of immense, contained power, always threatening to break free. Ahead, the landscape is a desolate, infernal panorama. Jagged, black rock formations jut upwards like broken teeth, their surfaces scorched and cracked. pits of bubbling, molten lava glow with an intense orange-red light, casting eerie, dancing shadows that writhe on the cavern walls. The air shimmers with the heat, distorting everything at a distance, making the very fabric of reality seem to waver and breathe. The silence is profound, broken only by the distant, rhythmic rumble of the earth and the occasional hiss of steam escaping from unseen vents. You feel the intense heat on your face, a dry, dehydrating presence that makes your skin prickle. You glance at your water skin, its warmth offering no comfort now, its contents a precious, dwindling resource in this furnace-like environment. Small wisps of smoke curl lazily from fissures in the rock, carrying the metallic sulfur smell, making your eyes water and your nose burn. The sheer power of this place is overwhelming, a raw, untamed force that dominates every sensation, every thought. You press your hand against a nearby rock face, its surface rough and surprisingly hot, radiating a dry, intense warmth that almost scalds your skin. You pull your hand back quickly, a sudden, sharp pain, a vivid reminder of the environment's unforgiving nature. You realize that this is a world actively trying to burn you out, to consume you, to break you down with its relentless heat and its constant, unsettling tremor. And in this searing, furnace-like landscape, amidst the metallic tang of sulfur and the earth's ceaseless thrum, you understand that survival isn't just about fighting external enemies, but about an internal resilience, a desperate struggle to keep your breath, your will, and your very essence from being entirely consumed by the raw, untamed power that surrounds you. The low thrumming of the earth from before now swells into a deafening roar, a monstrous, guttural symphony that vibrates in your chest, drowning out all other thought. It's the sound of the very world tearing itself apart, a primal scream from the depths of the planet, so loud it makes your teeth ache and your eardrums throb with a dull, incessant pressure. The air, already a searing furnace, becomes a suffocating oven, thick with a choking metallic sulfur tang that burns your lungs with every desperate, shallow gasp. Ahead, the source of this infernal symphony reveals itself. A massive fissure, jagged and raw, has opened in the cavern floor, and from its depths, a river of molten rock, a viscous, incandescent orange, slowly, inexorably flows. Its light pulses, alive, casting grotesque, dancing shadows that leap and writhe across the cavern walls, making the black rock glow with an internal fire. The heat, radiating from its surface, is immense, so close it feels like a physical assault, a wave of pure, blistering fire that threatens to scorch your very face, even from a distance. You instinctively shield your eyes with an arm, pulling back from the searing intensity, feeling the intense pressure against your eyelids, even through your gloved hand. Your skin prickles, then rapidly tingles, a premonition of the burn that will inevitably follow if you linger too close. The ground beneath your boots, already radiating a dry heat, now feels like treading on a living furnace, the warmth seeping through the leather, threatening to cook the soles of your feet. Each step is a cautious, painful shuffle, your muscles screaming with the effort to avoid slipping on the jagged, hot rock. Small volcanic eruptions, mini geysers of superheated gas and ash, occasionally burst from vents higher up the cavern walls, adding to the deafening roar, their spray of tiny hot embers shimmering in the blistering heat. It's a terrifying, primal display of raw, destructive power, yet undeniably magnificent. The stark contrast between the inky blackness of the rock and the vibrant, pulsing orange of the lava creates a dangerous beauty, a horrifying tableau of creation and destruction interwoven. You feel a strange sense of awe, mixed with profound terror, a chilling realization of your own utter insignificance in the face of such untamed elemental force. Your throat feels raw, your mouth parched, and your head pounds with the heat and the ceaseless deafening roar. You realize that in places like this, survival isn't about outsmarting an enemy or finding a hidden path. It's about enduring, about finding the raw, unadulterated will to push through an environment that actively seeks to unmake you, to strip away your very essence with its blistering touch and its earth-shattering power. This isn't just a challenge. It's a confrontation with the fundamental, destructive force of the world itself, and you can only pray it lets you pass. The air itself is thick, heavy, and strangely cold, carrying an overwhelming sense of oppressive evil that makes your skin crawl. It's not just a physical chill, it's a psychic one, a pervasive wrongness that sinks into your very bones, filling you with an instant, primal dread. The smell is acrid and metallic, like burnt ozone and old blood, mixing with something indescribably foul, a stench that catches in your throat and makes your stomach churn. The silence here is profound, a suffocating absence of natural sound that presses in on your ears, amplifying the frantic beat of your own heart. But then, it's broken by a sound that isn't sound, but a feeling. A low, clanging resonance, deep and unsettling, vibrates through the very stone beneath your boots, up your legs, and into your chest. It feels like ancient, dark magic at work, a monstrous bell tolling in an unseen dimension, each resonance a physical blow against your will. This is the oppressive silence before the storm, a coiled tension that promises unimaginable terror. The light, if you can call it that, is a sickly, pulsating green, emanating from unseen sources, casting long, grotesque shadows that writhe and twist like tortured spirits on the black, obsidian-like walls. These walls stretch upwards into an impenetrable gloom, adorned with unsettling carvings of demonic figures and esoteric symbols that seem to pulse with a malevolent inner light. Every surface feels cold, slick, and strangely alive beneath your fingertips, as if the stone itself is imbued with a dark, corrupting energy. You feel the weight of countless unseen eyes watching you from the deeper shadows, a prickling sensation on the back of your neck, a chilling certainty that you are not alone. The very air seems to hum with an unseen energy, a dark power that feels both ancient and utterly new, waiting, observing, testing. Your grip on your sword tightens, its familiar coldness, a small comfort in this place where comfort seems impossible. Your breath is shallow, each inhale a struggle against the heavy, tainted air. You realize that this isn't just a place of danger. It's a nexus of pure, unadulterated malevolence, a sanctuary for the vilest forces. The overwhelming sense of oppressive evil is a tangible adversary, working to strip you of your courage, your hope, your very humanity. And in this oppressive silence, punctuated by the clanging resonance of ancient, dark magic, you understand that some battles are fought not just with steel, but with spirit, a desperate struggle to hold on to the light when surrounded by a darkness so profound, so absolute, that it threatens to consume your very soul before the real storm even begins. The oppressive silence, once a prelude, now feels like a crushing weight, a finality that presses down on your chest, stealing the air from your lungs. It's the silence of doom, a profound stillness that portends absolute despair, leaving no room for hope. The sickening, metallic stench of dark magic and decay is even stronger here, burning in your nostrils, a constant, vile reminder of the evil that permeates this space. Then, from the depths of that suffocating quiet, you hear them. Distorted echoes. Not present sounds, but residual ones, reverberating through the very fabric of this cursed place. Faint, ghostly screams, choked and raw, mingle with the metallic clang of struggles. The desperate scuffle of boots, the sickening thud of bodies falling. These are the echoes of past suffering, of countless defeats, playing out in a spectral, horrifying symphony, trying to break your resolve, to show you the inevitable end. Each echo is a blow against your spirit, a whisper of the fate that awaits. The pulsing, sickly green light from the unseen sources intensifies, casting sharper, more menacing shadows that writhe on the black obsidian-like walls. These shadows seem to reach out, to grasp at you, making the oppressive evil feel like a tangible entity, actively working to consume you. Your skin crawls, not from cold, but from an overwhelming sense of violation, a feeling that your very essence is being assaulted. The walls themselves feel slick, cold, and strangely absorbent, as if they drink the fear and suffering that fills this chamber. You stand at the threshold of a vast, circular chamber, its floor adorned with a massive, pulsating dark sigil, emanating a raw, malevolent energy that vibrates up through your feet. At its center, a grotesque altar of black stone, shimmering with an unholy light. You glimpse figures in the deeper shadows, moving with an eerie, unnatural grace, their forms indistinct, but their presence undeniably menacing. They are waiting for you. This isn't just a battle, it's a sacrifice, a final, inescapable confrontation with the embodiment of the very evil that has twisted this world. Your grip on your sword tightens, your knuckles white, your heart hammering a frantic rhythm against your ribs. This is it. The ultimate test of courage amidst overwhelming despair. Every instinct screams for you to flee, to turn back, to escape the crushing weight of finality that hangs in the air. But you know there is no turning back, no other path. In this place of distorted echoes and profound evil, you realize that courage isn't the absence of fear, but the unwavering choice to face it, to stand firm, even when every fiber of your being is screaming for surrender. This moment demands everything you have, every ounce of your spirit, against a darkness that seeks to consume all. And you brace yourself, ready to meet the ultimate test. The air around you crackles with an invisible energy, a profound stillness that feels heavy, charged with anticipation. Your hand reaches out, fingers trembling slightly, and closes around the hilt. It's not the familiar rough leather of your old sword, but a smooth, cool grip that feels impossibly ancient, yet perfectly molded to your palm. A sudden, exhilarating jolt of power shoots up your arm, settling deep in your chest, a sensation unlike anything you've ever known. You feel it then, a subtle hum, a deep, resonant vibration that emanates from the legendary blade itself. It's not a sound for your ears, but for your very being, a quiet thrumming of ancient power, dormant for ages, now reawakened. The blade glows with an inner light, a soft, ethereal blue that seems to push back the oppressive shadows, revealing the intricate, almost impossibly delicate markings etched into its surface. It feels like an extension of yourself, a missing piece you never knew you were looking for. The weight of it in your hand is profound, not just physical, but a legacy bestowed, a burden of history and destiny settling upon your shoulders. You feel the presence of countless heroes who wielded it before, their courage, their struggles, their triumphs, all channeled through this single magnificent weapon. It's a chilling, exhilarating responsibility, a silent promise to uphold the light, to fight against the encroaching darkness. The oppressive evil that moments ago felt overwhelming now seems to recoil subtly at the blade's potent, silent presence. You lift the sword, its balance perfect, its edge shimmering with an almost impossible sharpness. The air in the chamber seems to clear, the acrid stench of dark magic receding, replaced by a faint, clean scent of ozone and ancient metal. The distorted echoes of screams and struggles vanish, replaced by a new, hopeful silence, broken only by the sword's resonant hum. The sickly green light of the evil sigil on the floor seems to dim, its malevolent pulse faltering under the blade's radiant aura. In this moment, holding the legendary blade, you realize that destiny isn't just a story told, but a path chosen, a responsibility embraced. The raw, ancient power in your hand is not merely a weapon, it is a symbol, a beacon, a catalyst for change. And as you stand there, feeling the cool, smooth grip, the subtle hum of ancient power, and the profound weight of a legacy bestowed, you understand that some moments are not just about receiving a gift, but about accepting a purpose, a profound truth that defines everything that comes next. This is not just a sword, it is the embodiment of hope, and you are its chosen wielder. The clear, focused light of the legendary blade cuts through the oppressive darkness, pushing back the sickly green glow with an almost physical force. It's not just illumination, it's a living, breathing beacon, a pure, unwavering blue that stands in stark defiance against the malevolent shadows clinging to every corner of the chamber. You feel the cold, acrid stench of dark magic receding further, replaced by the clean, sharp scent of ozone, a purifying presence. The air itself feels lighter, clearer, as if the sword is actively scrubbing away the pervasive evil. In your hand, the blade hums with a deep, confident resonance, a constant, subtle vibration that settles the frantic rhythm of your heart. It inspires an unwavering resolve, a sudden, fierce certainty that washes away all doubt, all fear. The crushing weight of finality that moments ago threatened to overwhelm you now feels like a challenge, not a certainty. Your mind, once plagued by distorted echoes of screams, is now focused, sharp, centered on the singular purpose that has been entrusted to you. You feel a surge of power, not your own, but ancient, pure, coursing through your veins, invigorating every fiber of your being. The figures in the deeper shadows, once menacing and indistinct, now seem to recoil, their forms flickering, destabilized by the sword's potent light. The evil sigil on the floor, once pulsating with malevolence, now flickers weakly, its dark energy struggling against the pure light radiating from the blade. You sense their hesitation, their sudden, fearful respect for the power you now wield. This isn't just a weapon in your hand, it's a statement, a defiance, a clear, unmistakable challenge to the very essence of the darkness. You shift your stance, the legendary blade feeling perfectly balanced, an extension of your arm, your will. The profound weight of its legacy, once a solemn burden, is now a source of immeasurable strength. You realize, with a stark, undeniable clarity, that destiny's call is not just a whispered promise, but a resounding declaration, a path laid bare before you. There is no more doubt, no more searching for answers. The answer is here, in your hand, in your heart, in the unwavering light that pushes back the encroaching gloom. As you stand there holding the blade aloft, its clear, focused light illuminating your path, you understand that some moments are not just about receiving a gift, but about stepping into your true self, about accepting a purpose that transcends your individual fears and doubts. The sword is a catalyst, but the resolve, the courage, the ultimate choice to fight, comes from within. This is not merely a weapon to end a darkness. It is the unwavering embodiment of hope, and you, its wielder, are the vessel chosen to carry that light forward, a living testament to the enduring power of courage against despair. The first thing you feel is a gentle, enveloping warmth, a profound comfort spreading through your body, chasing away the pervasive chill and the lingering dread. It's the sudden, undeniable warmth of a sun reborn, caressing your skin, a sensation so pure and good it brings an unexpected tear to your eye. The heavy, acrid stench of dark magic and decay vanishes, replaced by the crisp, clean scent of fresh earth and blooming wildflowers, a fragrance that fills your lungs with vibrant life. A sweet relief. You open your eyes, blinking against an impossibly bright golden light. The sickening purple hue of the sky is gone, replaced by a boundless expanse of brilliant azure blue, dotted with soft white clouds. Everywhere you look, color explodes into vibrant life. The skeletal trees you remember are now lush. Their leaves are rich emerald green, swaying gently in a soft, clean breeze. Flowers, once withered, now bloom in riotous bursts of red, yellow, and blue, their petals unfurling towards the radiant sun. The ground beneath your feet is no longer corrupted earth, but soft, yielding grass, cool and pleasant against your boots. The silence of despair is broken by a symphony of natural sounds. The cheerful chirping of birds fills the air, a melodic chorus that speaks of joy and freedom. The distant hum of insects, not threatening but industrious, mixes with the gentle rustle of leaves and the murmur of a flowing river. It's a harmonious blend, a vibrant return of life, so rich and full it almost overwhelms your senses, bringing a lightness to your spirit you thought you'd forgotten. You walk forward, each step feeling lighter, imbued with a renewed energy. The heavy cloak of oppression has lifted, and for the first time in what feels like an eternity, you feel truly free, truly alive. You reach out, your fingers brushing against a dewy blade of grass, feeling its vibrant coolness, its undeniable reality. The very air tastes clean, sweet, like pure water, exhilarating with every breath. Your gaze drifts towards the distant castle, no longer a decaying monolith, but a gleaming beacon, its spires catching the sun's light, a symbol of hope restored. You pause, taking it all in, the sheer, overwhelming beauty of a world cleansed, a world reborn. You realize that sometimes, after the deepest darkness, the light doesn't just return, it explodes, more vibrant, more precious than ever before. This isn't just a change in landscape, it's a profound shift in the very essence of existence, a testament to the enduring power of life itself. And in this moment of radiant rebirth, bathed in the warmth of a sun reborn and the fresh scent of a world cleansed, you understand that even after the most desperate struggles, true victory isn't just the absence of evil, but the glorious, vibrant return of hope and life, reminding you of the profound beauty that always lies waiting to burst forth again. The silence of despair is utterly banished, replaced by a sound so pure, so uplifting it brings a fresh wave of emotion to your chest. It's the joyful chorus of liberated voices, swelling and fading across the newly green landscape. Shouts of joy, laughter, murmurs of awe, all harmonizing into a symphony of release and newfound freedom. You hear children's excited screams as they chase each other through fields, and the deep, resonant voices of adults expressing profound relief. The air, still fresh and clean, vibrates with this collective happiness, a palpable sense of shared victory. You kneel, pressing your palm against the ground. The corrupted texture is gone, replaced by the tender touch of newly grown grass, soft and cool against your skin. It's a living, breathing carpet, vibrant green, stretching as far as the eye can see, cushioning your weary body. You feel the subtle tickle of individual blades as they brush against your fingers, a delicate, undeniable testament to life's resurgence. The warmth of the sun, now gentle and comforting, permeates the earth, radiating up into your hand, a pure, healing energy. Everywhere you look, you see life returning. Animals, once driven to hiding, cautiously emerge. Rabbits nibble at clover, birds flit between the now leafy branches, and distant deer graze peacefully in sun-dappled clearings. The skeletal trees are vibrant, their leaves rustling a joyous tune in the soft breeze, and the air smells of fresh dew and wild blossoms. The murky, sickly light is replaced by a brilliant, clear sky, a boundless expanse of blue that feels endless and full of promise. The distant castle, gleaming like a jewel, now seems to stand as a symbol of peace, not just power. You see families reuniting, their embraces tight, their tears of joy flowing freely. Old men sit on newly green hillsides, simply watching the reborn world with expressions of profound gratitude. This isn't just a moment of peace. It's the profound peace of a land awakened, a world shedding its nightmare and embracing a new dawn. The shared relief is a powerful current, pulling everyone into its hopeful embrace, weaving a tapestry of shared future. You stand amidst it all, feeling the tender touch of the grass beneath your feet, hearing the joyful chorus of liberated voices, and absorbing the profound peace. You realize that true victory isn't just about defeating evil, but about creating the space for life to flourish, for joy to return, for hope to be reborn in the hearts of everyone. And in this moment of pure, unadulterated beauty, you understand that while darkness may fall, life, in its infinite tenderness and fierce resilience, always finds a way to awaken, to reclaim, and to bloom again, more precious and vibrant than ever before. The air around you is soft, a gentle breeze that carries the sweet scent of blooming flowers and damp, healthy earth. But it also carries something else, something less tangible. Tales of heroism, whispered on the wind, traveling from village to village, gathering strength with each retelling. You hear fragments of it in passing conversations, hushed reverence for an unseen hero, for the courage that turned the tide. It's a subtle but pervasive presence, a shared story, woven into the very fabric of the restored kingdom. You stand on a hill overlooking Hyrule, the sun warm on your face, casting a golden glow over patchwork fields, verdant forests, and the sparkling blue of distant rivers. The grand castle, rebuilt and shining, stands proudly in the distance, a beacon of peace and stability. A quiet pride swells in your chest, a deep, resonant feeling of belonging to a kingdom restored, healed, awakened. It's a sense of collective achievement, a shared relief that permeates the very landscape. But even amidst the vibrant life and the gentle peace, you feel them, the lingering echoes of past struggles. A fleeting shadow might pass over a field. A distant, mournful cry of a hawk might momentarily remind you of the darkness that once threatened to consume everything. You catch a glimpse of an old guard, his face still etched with the lines of past battles, his eyes holding a depth of memory that speaks volumes of the trials endured. These echoes aren't a source of despair, but a quiet reminder, a testament to what was overcome, giving deeper meaning to the peace now enjoyed. You watch as children play in the fields, their laughter pure and unburdened, a sound you cherish more deeply now, knowing the silence that almost claimed it. Farmers tend their crops with renewed vigor, their movements confident, their faces reflecting a quiet determination. There's a newfound appreciation for the mundane, for the simple rhythm of life that was nearly lost. You run your hand over the smooth, cool stone of an ancient monument, feeling the weight of history, both dark and triumphant, beneath your fingers. You realize that a kingdom restored is not just about rebuilding structures. It's about healing spirits, about remembering the cost of peace, and about cherishing the vibrant life that has returned. The gentle breeze carrying tales of heroism, the quiet pride in a kingdom restored, and the lingering echoes of past struggles, all weave together to create a profound tapestry of experience. And in this moment of quiet contemplation you understand that while the battle may be over, the true work of living, of remembering, and of preserving this hard-won peace has only just begun. It's a constant, gentle vigilance, a daily act of gratitude for the light that has returned. The cool, soft breeze against your cheek carries the scent of freshly turned earth, and distant blossoms, a perfume of peace that now defines Hyrule. But deep within you, etched into your very being, are the lessons of the shadows. You feel the subtle weight of your legendary blade still at your side, a familiar, comforting presence, even in this time of quiet. It's no longer just a weapon, it's a constant, silent reminder of the darkness you faced, a testament to the strength you found when all seemed lost. You watch the villagers below, their movements free and unburdened by fear, their laughter echoing without the taint of despair. You see the light in their eyes, a genuine joy that was once extinguished. These are not merely people. They are living proof of resilience, their smiles a hard-won victory. Each face tells a story of survival, of enduring the storms, of clinging to hope when the world turned purple and cold. That shared adversity has forged an enduring strength, a quiet understanding between them, a communal spirit that hums beneath the surface of their daily lives. Your own hands, once raw and aching from battles, now feel steady, capable, but they also remember the cold of ancient stones, the burning of molten rock, the slickness of ice. Those memories are not burdens, but foundations. They are the quiet wisdom that prevents complacency, the understanding that peace, once earned, must be continually cherished and guarded. The experiences have etched themselves not as scars of weakness, but as lines of strength, refining your perception, deepening your resolve. You glance towards the distant castle, its white stones gleaming under the benevolent sun. It stands as a symbol not just of royal authority, but of a kingdom united, protected by a vigilance born from hard lessons. There's a quiet promise in the air, a sense of collective commitment to a future safeguarded by the sacrifices made, by the strength forged in the crucible of adversity. You feel a profound, calm sense of purpose, not of active conflict, but of watchful care, a ready strength within. It's in these quiet moments, standing on the sun-drenched hill, observing the peaceful world you helped restore, that you truly understand the lasting impact of your journey. The challenges faced, the pain endured, the courage found, they haven't vanished. Instead, they've transformed into an inner resolve, an unbreakable core. This enduring strength, forged in adversity, is the quiet promise of a future protected, a subtle but constant readiness to act, to protect, to ensure that the hard-won light continues to shine.